Hello and welcome to GPTV on Wednesday the 3rd of November, the post-Melbourne Cup edition and the first edition where we've been back in person. Do not adjust your screens. I'm Phillip Kingston.
I'm Gary Pierre. Happy post-Melbourne Cup day. Hopefully you found the winner yesterday and a few other winners along the way. We had a wonderful day, a beautiful sunny day, Phil, and I think Melburnians are ready for a rest and some freedom, Phil, because we are now unmasked, Phil. We are unmasked. The property market is unmasked, Phil. Look, it was an interesting week last week because there's properties that sold that finally got to the market where vendors said, look, and I had a number of vendors, the vendor of King Street, the block of apartments that we sold there, the vendor of Mitchell Road said, I want my day in the sun, and it was a sunny day, Phil, when they had their auctions, and people are saying they want to be back out. They want to be out in Melbourne, out in the street, out in the public, have the real true auction vibe with you and your finest wares, walking up and down, strutting, making your bad humoured jokes with a coffee van. When's the coffee van back,
This
by the way?
weekend, I believe.
Thank goodness, the coffee van back. People want to be enjoying, as vendors, the quintessential Melbourne auction experience.
It's interesting, Gary, because we're in the middle of a real estate boom,
Yes,
or maybe at the start of a real estate boom,
I
but
think so.
a lot of buyers are very anxious at the moment, Gary, and they are throwing offers on the table, kind of saying to us, here's an offer, it's above your range, you must take it. And we go to our vendors and we say, here is the range, here is an offer, what would you like to do? And we've got a lot of clients, and this is just picking up on a point you make, we've got a lot of clients that just look at us and say, look, that is a good offer.
Yes.
And under normal circumstances, maybe I would have looked at it, but I want to go to auction.
Phil. People want the process.
So many people say, look, it might be a good offer and I might live to regret it, but I want my auction because this is a market like we've never seen before.
Well, we are in uncharted waters, Phil. It's very, very unusual to be in the market we're in. We're getting prices that we never expected, that we've never seen, competition that we've never seen. And of course, Phil, maybe it's connected to Halloween. Do you think there's any connection? Because I've got to say, I've never seen Halloween. I've never seen Halloween as enjoyed and revered and celebrated as I have this year. How about all the houses with all of the spooky, all the spider webs and decorations? It's become a big thing in Australia.
Well, at the risk of pouring cold water on what's clearly developing as a fun thing for kids, it is very much cultural appropriation. I mean, it's an American thing that America, bless their hearts,
they know how to celebrate events.
They know how to export their popular culture.
Export or exploit?
Export and exploit their popular culture.
Indeed.
Because really, what's Halloween got to do with Australia? Absolutely zero.
Well, what's it to do with America?
And yes,
what's it to do with anything?
All of a sudden, I've got little kids just knocking on my door all the time, and I must say, it's about the only time that it's legal for a creepy bloke to give little kids lollies.
Yes.
Just come into my garage and I'll give you some lollies.
Is that what you say? Is that what you do?
It's not what I say, but
I've just lost our entire client base.
But I must say, I'm watching all of these little kids roaming.
We'll stand him down.
Roaming around the streets, and their parents are probably not keeping up with them. And I think to myself, if I had a little kid, would I be too happy about this? Anyway, apparently it went off without any hitches or problems. But you're a fan of Halloween?
Did you ever dress up and go with your kids collecting trick and treating? Did you ever do that?
No. Well, you keep in mind, I mean, when our kids were young, I reckon Halloween has just gathered momentum in the last 5 years. And a shout out to all of the retailers that have shamelessly promoted Halloween in order to sell more product, which is the quintessential American experience.
You know what? I don't mind a bit of spooky fun, Phil. And we talked about, the haunted house. I won't say the address. We talked about all haunted houses, and I promised a spooky ghost story, Phil, but I won't do it now because we run out of time. It's too much. But I have got a spooky true spooky house ghost story coming up on GPTV. Stay tuned. But Phil, I don't mind
how good is it to be back, Gary, in front of a camera, actually standing beside you, feeling your charisma and your energy. I must say I missed it because just looking at you on Zoom, you looked so much heavier on Zoom.
Is that right? You think so?
In person, you're kind of not. I don't know what it is.
A bit lighter. Maybe I shouldn't do it from the chin up. It's maybe not the most flattering part of doing it. I'm not quite sure, Phil. But look, we got through the Zoom era.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, and I'm sorry because my wife's always pulling me up about how I'm interrupting you all the time.
You are.
But
you do.
Let's just talk last weekend, Gary. Last weekend is the first real weekend where we're out and about amongst people. How good it was to be back, and how beautiful was the weather. To hold auctions last weekend on Saturday and Sunday, magnificent. And Melbourne responded. They came out in droves. There were people everywhere.
I'll tell you what, the weather wasn't much good last Friday, Phil, because I was supposed to play golf on last Friday. You know, finally getting back onto the golf course. And of course, you remember those storms, which are up, and there's boards. I don't know if you know, a few of our boards
I did notice,
got blown away as well. Thankfully, no one's got hurt or injured, but a few of them just tilted a little bit. There's a couple I have to tell you about. Phil, it's good to be out. It's good to be about. We have an unmasked public, and we have uncharted waters in the property market. We are in an incredible time in the property market. It could not be more exciting. Our clearance rate. Have you got the stats
clearance
there?
rate, Gary, is 27 out of 30, Gary.
I think you're right.
27 out of 30,
90%.
which gave us a 90%
right?
clearance rate against the industry average of
85.
80,
Was it 85?
Well, I thought it was 81 when it gets
rounded out. No, it was 80. Okay. Well, it might have been. But
90
no, 85.
versus 85.
Cool
So again, we just smashed the industry clearance rate. Look up at the screen, Gary. Instead
I'm just checking this right.
in the middle of GPTV.
No, I'm not. They're 27 out of 30. You're good.
30,
I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
We're 90%.
That's why they pay me the big bucks,
They
Gary.
do, yeah. Well done. Yep. Now we couldn't wait till the weekend, by the way, because we were
midweek.
I got a bit distracted.
Midweek, aren't
we had our first midweek run because the first day we were supposed to, from one of the lockdown numbers 23 with instruction number 48, we were told we could actually go and do an outside auction, Phil. So we kicked it off with the bank in Centre Road.
We did. And viewers,
interesting to sell a bank, and the safes were still there, Phil.
So viewers, you've got to love this. We're auctioning the old Commonwealth Bank in Centre Road in East Bentleigh.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there doing the auction, and I'm looking at just a sea of people with masks on.
That's right.
And I did make the joke to the crowd that
it was
it
a good
is
one,
somewhat
actually.
of an experience
It was a quick
auctioning
one,
a bank with a whole lot of people standing outside the bank with masks on.
Yes,
anyway,
exactly right.
It amused me for
it amused the crowd for a second as well. You know,
there was a titter of laughter.
Collective laughter, Phil. It was one of your better jokes. You don't get to say that joke too often, do you? Talking about people being in outside banks with masks on, they usually get arrested.
Tell you what, Gary, we had Centre Road Bentleigh during the week. We had Mitchell Street in
slow down.
Caulfield
Let's just do it in order.
Don't
get out of order on me. 12 o'clock we had the bank. That was amazing. It sold very well. Congratulations to the buyer. 2 o'clock, Phil, we sold that block of apartments, been the same family for decades in King Street. Sadly, prices are all undisclosed. And then, Phil, we sold, of course, a Mitchell Road or Mitchell Street, fantastic house, and that was a twilight auction, Phil. So we were thumping and pumping already, doing the midweek thing.
Of course, the auctions were attended by people that had been double vaccinated. We had our COVID marshal and everything was under control.
Do you reckon we should get COVID marshalled uniforms? Because, you know, like when you look at the Westerns, the marshals always
when the marshals come to town.
Yeah, and they sort of, spin their guns around and, the marshal and the sheriff. I reckon we should have COVID marshal uniforms, Phil. We
probably should.
You could design a nice one. Get
absolutely.
Hugo Boss on the job.
Go to Xenia and buy some
COVID marshal uniforms. If anybody's got a design and you want to send it in, by all means do so. Anyway, that was where we just started off, Phil. Of course, everything was selling midweek. It was a humdinger, Phil. Then we've had some other auctions that went particularly well. Look, that Wednesday night was it pouring rain, or was it Thursday? Thursday was pouring rain. Chapel Street, Phil. I auctioned the apartment in Chapel Street. It was absolutely raining cats and dogs, but it didn't stop us getting $495,000 for this one-bedroom apartment with a courtyard. So congratulations to the young lady who bought that, Phil. We had 3 or 4 bidders going for that. And then I was in the, when you have an outdoor auction, it has to be outside.
Yes.
And when it's pouring rain, and when there's nowhere really to stand, it gets a bit awkward. So we stood in Normanby Road, we stood in a little carport there.
Yes.
We sold that one.
By the way, Gary, the rules have changed because we can now hold our auctions indoors.
We can.
Yeah.
Now, Phil, there was a Bigsy weekend, 23 Norwood Road, another very popular home. Well,
have a look at that. There's not too many auctions, Gary, where a Lamborghini, convertible Lamborghini, drives right through the middle of the auction. And I took the rather bold move of sitting on it. And I probably shouldn't have done that after the last time I sat on a car and dented the bonnet.
That cost
Shout
us
out
plenty,
and a thank you to that person that drove that gorgeous red car through the auction. I dented the bonnet and didn't sue us. So thank you.
Thanks for not suing us. We appreciate you not suing us. But that was an amazing auction in Norwood Road. And you're right, that car did come through. And of course, you made all those jokes about stereotyping the driver, which probably will get sued for that too. So, but anyway, that's okay. That's what insurance is for. Although the premium's going up a lot, isn't it? The excess. But anyway, great result. Well done. Phil, I had the great pleasure of auctioning a fantastic apartment in Westbury Street. Street on Sunday morning.
What a result.
That was a ripper. Phil, 7 to 770 was the range. The vendor was hoping to get more, but was prepared to sell at the top of that range, which was the reserve given to us on the morning. Phil, $880,000. That's what apartments are getting in Westbury Street now for established apartment. Good apartment and a special block with this communal rooftop garden, Phil, which is huge, which is actually very unique and special. But
still,
well
that
done.
price is a very, very extraordinary price, and it goes to show how everything in this marketplace, everything in this current real estate boom has been revalued. So that's an apartment that I reckon 18 months ago would have made $700,000.
Now, Phil, we've had a couple of sales. The prices are undisclosed, but I don't mind saying that $3 million is now a no big deal price anymore, Phil. $3 million, just go, no worries. Caulfield South is $3 million territory.
Gary,
Phil.
$3 million is the new $2 million, $2 million is the new $1 million, and $1 million is the new deposit.
Does it have to be? It's a pretty high deposit, isn't it? It doesn't have to be a deposit of $1 million, and he just got to be carried away with himself there as he does. But 57 Teak Street was a wonderful result, Phil, and 43 Filbert Street, some beautiful homes. We are selling the best houses in Caulfield South. We're blessed
to be able to auction this house in Teak Street. Lovely people that we sold for, by the way. Shout out to the owners, shout out to the buyers, who are also lovely people. But literally in Teak Street, I was there at 2:30. Setting a new record
time
price.
To see the dentist,
and then we drove round the corner at 4:30 in Filbert Street and set another record price. So, South Caulfield, again, always been one of the best suburbs in Melbourne in which to live. I reckon South Caulfield prices, Gary, up by 20%.
I reckon you're right, actually, Phil. I reckon they are up by 20%. And when did it happen? Just like we blinked, we just went blink.
Do you know what? In the time it takes to drive from Teak Street to Filbert,
bang, that was it. People who lived there didn't even realise how much money they made just in that short time.
Correct. Why go to work when you can just go to bed at night and wake up in the morning just that little bit richer? And that's the joy of home ownership.
Phil, we are in uncharted waters now. Somebody rang me from The Age for some commentary, or Fairfax, saying that, am I aware, and did I want to comment, the fact that land had gone up 3 times the rate of apartments? Which was an interesting little exercise, Phil.
A journalist asked you whether you're aware.
I had a comment about it. Well, I wasn't
your
aware
comment, or they asked you to comment?
They had made the fact, and they said, "That's the fact.
Would you like to comment?"
And I said, "That's an interesting fact." And they said, "We already know that." And I said, "Well, that's my comment." And they said, "We didn't ring you for that comment. We rang you to see why that's happened." So I made some wise comments, Philip, about the fact, why land has increased and what's been going on out there. But I'm not going to go through it here. You just have to go and get yourself the Fairfax publication if I can find it. I'll
It's not
maybe
Fairfax anymore. Anyway, Gary, Fairfax does not exist as a company anymore.
Well, maybe it wasn't really a journalist then, because he said maybe it was just somebody else that's taking a
ghost of Fairfax.
Exactly, maybe, exactly right. Maybe it was someone just wondering where I was while I was there, because our house, there was something missing from our house.
Keeping in mind, Gary, The Age is now owned by Channel 9, Nine Entertainment.
Yeah, it is, Phil. Phil, I think that's about it. Look, we're just going to talk about also number 5 Craddock Avenue. That was just off the charts. We thought we might get well into the 3s, and the results are undisclosed. But just suffice to say,
I'm going to take that property though in Craddock, Gary, where I reckon if we'd had that 12 months ago, we would have sold it for 25% less than what we got on Sunday. So price is undisclosed, but I reckon 12 months that property added 25% onto its selling price.
Uncharted waters we're in, Phil. We're in uncharted waters, and I think prices are not going to go down in the rush, Phil, but ultimately they'll level, but they're still on the climb. Do you feel like they're still on the climb?
Well, I think there's a lot of heat in this market, Gary, and I think that you're going to continue to see really good real estate set record prices. I think we're probably not far off the plateau, but all of the pessimists out there saying, the market's going to tank at some point. Understand this. We need 5 interest rate rises in a row.
We need them?
No,
I don't think we need them.
In order to take the edge off the market, that's what is needed to take the edge off the market. So we're a long way from having 5 interest rate rises in a row. Keeping in mind, when they do raise interest rates, it's generally because of 2 issues. Either the economy is overheating and or inflation is rising. So ultimately, yes, it takes the edge off a real estate boom, but it's because the economy is doing really well.
Well, I was speaking to Julie and John, who are keen watchers of the show. They said they're looking forward to it, and they asked me, on Sunday at the auction of that wonderful property in Bokhara Road that Leor Samuel sold, Wishy sold so well. And I was saying the same thing. I think it will take a interest rate rise and multiple to slow this market
like
down.
5?
Well, I don't know if 5 is the
Well,
number.
Gary,
Could be 3. I think 3.
We've seen time and time again, you know, first one makes no difference, second one makes no difference.
Third one makes a difference.
Third one, people are starting to look up and go, I wonder what's happening here. Fourth, yep, it's here. And then fifth, I'm staying at home this weekend, I'm not bidding at an auction.
We're in uncharted waters. Hey, who do we have actually a COVID marshal? I keep thinking about that, Marshal.
Gary,
can I be the COVID marshal?
Of course we have a COVID marshal. We have a COVID marshal appointed at every auction.
Have you got an outfit?
Gary.
Are you ever the marshal? You'd love to be the marshal. You like outfits. You like dress-ups, don't you? Come on, you'd like to be the COVID marshal. Tell us the truth.
What I
he
wear
likes
in
dressing
the privacy
up.
of my own home viewers is entirely your business.
Share it with us. Exactly right. Share it with us. Okay, let's move on, Phil, because we've got auctions to talk about this weekend.
Quickly.
We've got auctions this week.
It's a long episode.
We're not going to wait. Yeah,
Sorry.
there's lots to talk about. Well, it's a Melbourne Cup special bonus edition, Phil. We go a bit longer. Phil, we're not waiting for the weekend because we're going to Ellington Street. Now, I love the look of this property. And by the way, love Ellington Street. Gorgeous property, Philip, going midweek.
4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, Gary, lock-up garage for 2 cars. Absolutely just move straight into this one. Ellington, one of the elevated positions in Caulfield South. Great street.
Phil, we sold a house in Amelia Street and, you know, things come up in Mill Street every like 30 years, but lo and behold, there's another one. And lucky number 8 in Amelia Street. If you like number 8,
I did a video tour of this property. Really, really good home. 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, double lock-up garage, and north-facing rear garden. And Amelia Street is a tiny little street and very tightly held.
Part of triple auction action at 10:30am. Philip, Tattenham Street. Rishi is going to be there for this fantastic 2-bedroom apartment going off in Caulfield east in the morning. Now, Phil, I'm going to open my account on the weekend at 11:30 in Grange Road, Carnegie. Leon Guzenfitter is handling that property or has been involved in it. And I'm the auctioneer. 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Can't wait, Phil. St Hubert's Road. 2 at 23. Leo Samuel auctions this terrific property. What a great looker it is. Also as part of triple auction action at 11:30. Phil, let's talk about Dunoon Court, because you are the auctioneer.
Gary, what a magnificent brand new property, and this is the most incredible location, Dunoon Court, but it opens literally into this gorgeous parkland.
It does.
That is on your doorstep. That's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, and a double lock-up garage. Everything to love there, Gary.
We have dedicated the 12:30 time slot, Philip, to just one auction. And one auction only. You're the auctioneer. I'll be meeting you there, and this is this postcard, perfect facade of this property at number 50 Ardrey Road in Malvern East. Tell us about this home, Phil.
Well, Gary, that is a beautiful home, and of course the position is absolutely incredible. Doesn't really get any better than that. And you're right, picture postcard, perfect facade, gorgeous period features throughout, modern luxuries, and of course 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and car parking.
We run away at 1:30, Philip. We all disperse to have our triple auction action at 1:33 Ellington Street in Caulfield South. Back to Ellington,
Gary,
second time in a week.
Gorgeous facade, gorgeous single fronted home, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, off-street car parking for 2 cars, polished timber floorboards, period features, and your entry into the market.
And Phil, if it's a hot day on Saturday, you can wear your thongs and come to Narbethong Road in Murrumbeena, Philip, 1:30. Leo Samuel is the auctioneer for that terrific property. Phil, you can put up your dukes and bid at the auction and get ready for an auction fight at 1:30pm. 2 at 5 Duke Street, this terrific apartment with this fabulous courtyard and private entrance. Glenn Bricker has been telling me, I can't believe what a fantastic property he is in his lovely South African accent. That one goes off on Saturday at 1:30pm. We've got triple auction action at 2:30, Philip, in Fairfield Grove. You have the auction honours of this
Gary,
property.
Single story, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a double lock-up garage, and of course all of the associated courtyard gardens that go with that. That is a really good property.
Phil, 2:30, we're going to go from Narbethong to Nangana Road. Also Murrumbeena, Graham Callan auctions this terrific property. 620 to 680 is the range, Phil. We're looking forward to that. Leo Samuel also has a 2:30 auction, this time in Bentleigh East at 205 at 1 Mackie Road. What a great address, Phil. And if you buy in Mackie Road, you can go around the corner to Centre Road to Tahiti Neri, another shameless promotion. By the way, we're going to start promoting different businesses.
Next week we will,
I've got
Gary.
someone already who wants to promote.
Next week we will, because this is a long episode. Please move it ahead, Gary.
Okay, 18 Virginia Court, Philip, will be the final auction on Saturday. It's at 3:30pm.
What a
You're the
big,
auctioneer.
beautiful family home that is, complete with swimming pool, cabana, plenty of bedroom accommodation, 5 bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms, everything to love about that home.
Let's rip into Sunday auction action. Phillip, at 10:30, you're going to be up early auctioning in Nottage Street. Not a bad address.
Gary, I love that address. Walking distance to the fabulous Alma Village, and that is a beautiful 2-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, 2-storey residence.
Your 9 Virginia Court is being auctioned by Leor Graham. Callan's been handling that one at 11:30, and at 12:30, Phil, we are going to be in Carnegie with Jack Slater auctioning Coorigga Road. That's 6 at 40 to 42 Coorigga Road. Phil, at 12:30, you're going to be in this terrific property at number 13 Elmhurst Road. I love this house, Phil.
Gary, it's a beautiful home, and viewers, if you want to have a quick look online, go online and watch the video there. This is a house with absolutely everything that opens and shuts. 5 bedrooms, 4 magnificent bathrooms, a double lock-up garage, and a gorgeous landscaped back garden, which you can open up the sliding doors and just feel like you're inside out or outside in. Beautiful.
And Phil, if your shiny leased Range Rover has a problem, it won't be a problem for you on Sunday, because you can walk from Elmhurst to Polo Parade and enjoy the auction of this terrific property, a prestige property.
Gary, one of only 2 apartments. This is the entire ground floor with 1 apartment upstairs on the corner of Polo Parade and Rosemont Avenue. Highly unusual to get an apartment in a location like that, and that is magnificent real estate.
Phil, that is it for the weekend. We've got a few properties to just talk about as a watch these properties, because they're coming up. Let's watch out for 46 Rosemont Avenue, Caulfield North. What an amazing house that is.
Gary, right in the epicentre of the golden mile of Caulfield North, Rosemont Avenue. That is a really good family home that you can move straight into or further improve as the years go by.
2 at 7 Estar Road, Caulfield North, another watch this property, Phil. I know Arlene's been very busy with that one. Another watch this property, Phil. Coming up, 5 Rosecraddock Place. What a great looking property this is.
Gary, beautiful. And viewers, go online, check out my video tour there. That is a very special family home in a tiny, tiny little street.
Last one, Phil, we're going to wrap up as a watch this property, because I know that you love this property and you've been there. I don't know if you've done the video yet or if you've completed it, but 32 Kent Grove, Phil, what a great property.
Gary, it doesn't get any better than this house. First of all, Kent Grove is an amazing address, and secondly, this is the house with everything. The most beautiful build you'll ever see. The vendors there, put their heart and soul into this property, and not only does it have this incredible luxury right throughout, but it's also one of the best future-proofed homes, because it's got the most incredible amount of solar on top, together with all of the associated technology that is required. So, you know, this is a money-making machine, this house, Gary, as it pours electricity back into the grid.
And unlike Monopoly, where Old Kent Road is the first property or the cheapest, it goes all the way around the board to Mayfair Park Lane. That's where our Kent Grove in Caulfield North is situated, Phillip, at the top of the suburb. Phil, that's a big wrap on GPTV. Lots to talk about, a big Melbourne Cup edition, and I hope that you had a winner or found a winner, even for those that just have a little flutter once a year. I hope you had a great day off, a barbecue, met with people, had some social interaction, Phil. Went to a restaurant the other night. That was an interesting experience. Haven't done that for a while. Wow.
Did the waiters know what to do?
Oh, they weren't quite sure. They just said, look, go and help yourself, you know, it's takeaway. They were stood out the front with the bag, and I said, oh, can I eat it here? Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, you can actually unwrap and eat it here. Anyway, Phil, it's good to be out. It's good to be unmasked. It's good to be in uncharted waters, and it's good to be a real estate agent in Melbourne in November 2021. We'll bring you all the real estate news on GPTV. We'll see you next week. I'm Gary P.
I'm Phillip Kingston. Have a fabulous week.